Chaz and AJ News.
The top 5 ways the state of Connecticut screws businesses.
Oh.
Pay attention.
Okay.
Especially if you own a business.
Yes.
The executive director of Reclaim Connecticut, John DiIorio, on the phone. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Chaz. How are you today?
Good, thank you. You want to go from 1 to 5?
Please.
Or 5 to 1?
Oh, yeah, countdown.
Oh, we got to do a countdown.
Okay. All right, so number 5.
Number 5, labor costs. Connecticut is one of the most expensive states in the country for labor, and there are 2 reasons why. No right to work and burdensome mandates that are handed down by the activist legislature on a fairly regular basis and has been the case for the last 20 years.
Okay. What was the first one?
Labor costs.
Labor costs. So is that, what do you mean? Like our minimum wage is high, and what does that mean?
It's not so much the minimum wage is high, it's the cost of all the mandates that the legislature passes down on the businesses.
Gotcha. So,
that's a big piece of it.
So like all the hoops
no
you
right
have to
work.
jump through.
Yeah.
What does that mean, no right to work?
It means that we're heavily union.
Oh.
Okay.
That
doesn't sound cheap.
No.
Especially at the state level. When your state level employees are making more than your private sector employees.
How do you get these jobs?
That becomes
Is there an application someplace, a website?
Top 5 ways the state of Connecticut screws businesses. Number 4.
Energy cost. Energy in Connecticut is 62 times more expensive.
Feels it.
Than it is in the surrounding states.
Wait, 62? Not 6.2.
62%.
62.
62%, 1.5 times. Eversource made $1.2 billion in 2021.
So we're all looking funny.
And in the fourth quarter of 21, their revenues were up 12%.
Why?
12%. Well, we have an outdated grid. We don't have enough diversity in our energy sources. We need to add alternative energy sources. This is an area in which Connecticut needs to make an investment in order to improve. And I think Pura could do a better job with Eversource.
If you're listening and you own a business and have a high electric bill, can you call in just so we can get a sense of what it is?
Yes, astound us.
I wonder what like a big restaurant has to pay month in electricity.
Oh, yeah.
Running the fridges and the freezers.
Because you can't just turn those off.
Yeah, no.
They got to always be on.
Yeah, almost like botulism.
Air conditioning.
Yeah.
Unless you like mold.
That'd be a good name for the place, Mold. Opening a business called Mold.
A restaurant called Mold.
Setting expectations.
Right.
John DiIorio is on, executive director of Reclaim Connecticut. This is not a political group, right?
We are not political. We love pro-business Democrats and pro-business Republicans. We are focused solely on the business climate, and the nonprofit is here, ReclaimCT.org. The nonprofit is here for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to improve Connecticut's business climate. And we're going to start by doing a lot of public information campaigns. And
that's cool.
And get subscribers and make sure people know what's going on, win the minds and hearts of Connecticut, and get these things changed.
You know, there's no business owner that I talk to that says, I got to tell you, this state, so great.
Yeah, no.
Like, it's very easy to do anything.
Never happens.
Yeah.
Right, no. Usually they do a shot and say, welcome to my world.
Yeah. Paul in Wallingford. You have a diner?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
So I have a friend who owns a diner in Wallingford, and he has all-electric heat. He has all-electric AC. He has like 5 or 6 freezers and 8 or 9 refrigerators. And he told me an average of $2,600 to $2,700 per month for electric in Wallingford.
That's Wallingford.
Wallingford, yeah.
They have their own grid.
Yeah.
That's maybe the best it gets.
Yeah. You want to live in Wallingford.
Yeah.
Yes. That's a good deal.
Somewhere else, it'd be like $5,000, $5,500.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
At least.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
All right, we'll take one more, then we'll get to number 3 in the top 5 ways Connecticut screws businesses. Thomas in Hamden, you own 3 businesses.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Yes, hello there.
Hi.
I own businesses in Hamden, Stamford, and Windsor.
Wow.
So I have both UI and Eversource.
Okay.
And I pay, they're big facilities, like 10,000 square feet facilities, and I pay over $1,000 a month easily in the summertime with the AC. But
For
Eversource does something very...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Eversource does something that I've called news agencies about, and they just ignore it. Say the month of May, we get like a strong heat wave for 2 days where it gets up to, 85, 90 degrees.
Uh-huh.
Eversource does something where it has to reserve that amount of energy for the rest of the month, just in case, and we get charged for that because of how much we used on those 2 days.
All right, that sounds screwy.
Yep.
All right.
Guessing
Thank you, Thomas.
Your hands are on your ankles a lot.
Well, it proves you're number 4.
Yeah.
John DiIorio, Executive Director, Reclaim Connecticut on. Number 3 in the top 5 ways Connecticut is screwing businesses.
Liberal activism and the regulatory climate.
All right, see, when you say it that way, it sounds like
book.
you are kind of a political party,
It's a children's book.
No, that's just a fact. You can't separate the liberal activist mindset from Connecticut's regulatory climate. They're intimately connected to each other, and in the context of one party rule, they are completely unchecked. And Forbes ranks our regulatory climate 43rd in the country.
40
just about everybody.
Third.
Yeah, 43rd. And it doesn't get much better when you look at the other sources. We're always in the mid to high 40s when it comes to our regulatory climate and the amount of red tape that it puts on top of businesses and the expenses associated with that.
I hear that all the time, the red tape.
Oh, yeah, red tape. Yeah.
Businesses, when you get into, let's say you open a restaurant, it's because you have a passion for food.
Yeah.
It turns out you're doing more stuff to get things approved with the state than you are cooking or working with your people.
Yeah, miles of red tape.
Yeah.
I was your miles of red tape.
Miles of red tape.
How many miles are we talking about here?
So many miles, I can't say.
Oh, my God, say, Mama. It's red tape.
Number 2 in the top 5 ways Connecticut is screwing businesses.
Taxes, 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 fees, fees, fees.
That sounds familiar to all of us.
It's a Motley Crue song.
Fees, fees, fees. That is true. We get that.
Fees.
Fees.
We get that on every level. Like, we feel it.
Yes. I feel the fees.
Just everywhere. But businesses especially. Can you give me an example of some kind of stupid fees?
Well, I can give you an example from the mortgage industry if you'd like.
Sure, why not?
It costs a little bit over $1,000 to be a mortgage loan originator if you look at all the costs associated with that. And Connecticut has 21,000 mortgage loan originators, something like that, for a state that writes 38,000 loans. And more than a third of those mortgage loan originators don't write loans at all, meaning they're licensed even though they're not doing what you're supposed to do in order to be licensed. That type of expansive licensing and fee mongering is prevalent throughout Connecticut's government.
Jeff on the road.
Hey, good morning. Hey, listen, you guys were just saying red tape, and it's pretty funny. Almost to the year to the day, I'm going to a job right now that was supposed to start a year ago, and due to red tape with that particular city, and this job is for that city, their own red tape postponed their own job by a year.
Double stick on that one.
That's wild.
And here's the thing. When I started working for my
when I started working for the company I'm with, I was like, yeah, this is great. We're kicking off this job. And my manager looked at me and laughed. He goes, yeah, just wait. Just wait. It's out-of-state they said, out-of-state vendor coming into the state, forget it. It'll never start on time. The state of Connecticut and the local cities all have so many ups and downs and hurdles and cost here and cost there. They just try to shoo everybody out of this state. What? I have another friend who builds. I have a friend who's in housing, does big development. He did one project in Connecticut. I find property all the time. I call him up. I'm like, hey, man, there's great property here, there. He goes, I'll never work in that state ever again.
Wow.
Just because they make you jump. It's money.
Why would we do that?
Just do anything right here.
For the money grab? That's wild.
It seems so, because everything we were postponed on was licensing and permits, and stuff would get approved, and then, it expired, reapply, pay more money. Yeah. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's frustrating when you're trying to create jobs for the area and the town and the tax base.
When you're trying to... When you're trying to improve and bring money, bring production into the state, bring all these things from out of state, and the hurdles that out of state vendors have to jump through, it just makes them not want to come back.
Yeah.
Both people, my friend in housing and the company I'm working with today, have both said, I'll never come back to the state to do a job again.
Damn.
And they meant it.
They meant it.
They meant it.
They don't even take your call anymore.
Yep.
All right, Jeff. Thank you, man.
Right.
Yeah, sorry, man. Keep smiling.
All right, Beef Man, real quick, please.
Yeah, the state has something called a recording fee, and it's like $80. Not a lot of money, but it's just a waste of money. If I have a small business, you have to go and just tell the state of Connecticut you're still in business, and you got to pay a fee.
That's when the call say I'm still in business. Click.
This is what they do. They don't get up and say to themselves, I'm going to drive to Hartford and figure out a way to make it easier for the people and businesses here. They say, how can we get another $80 or another $100 or another $1,000 out of these
money.
people?
Yes.
Yeah. How are we going to sneak another fee in?
Wow.
All right, Beef Man, thank you. John, there's clearly a lot of passion for what you're doing. ReclaimConnecticut.org is the website. We have one more, number one on the top 5 ways Connecticut is screwing businesses.
Wildly oversized bureaucracies that are chock full of faceless, unelected, unaccountable bureaucrats that in many cases are wasteful, and over the long run, because of the unfunded liabilities we face, could be the end of Connecticut if you just do a little simple arithmetic. So the wildly oversized bureaucracies and the expenses associated with that fact contribute to 2, 3, 4, and 5, and can only be dealt with through grassroots movement, because the beast is going to just keep feeding itself until the citizens of Connecticut say this can't happen anymore.
Is it too late?
God, I hope not.
Yeah.
I try to be an optimistic guy, and I believe you fight until the bell rings, and that's what we're going to do here.
That's a great attitude.
Bill.
We need people like you.
We need people like you. Okay.
Hold on.
There goes
Take one more call. John in Bridgeport.
Yeah, I'm in the HVAC business, and we get housed all the time. You have to have a license for everything, between the building department fees and the state and local fees that you have to get even before you start the job. And if you don't do it properly, you get fined.
Yikes. It's like, hey, I'm just trying to help over here. Why are you treating me like a bad guy?
Yep.
And you're trying to do your job, and it's at their discretion.
Yikes.
Depending
That's
on the
kind of the faceless, unelected people that John was talking about, because they get to stomp all over you, and there's no consequences.
You get to poop under their shoe.
Yep.
All right, John, thank you. Hey, John, the phones are going nuts. There's a lot of energy for this.
Yes, there is.
Listen, we'll have you back. But folks listening, especially if you own a business, you can go to ReclaimCT.org. We're linked up on the radio station website. Go there, get involved. It's not too late.
No.
Thank you, John.
You're very welcome, Chaz. You guys have a great day, and we will get this done.